Ready to learn how to take care of yourself as a virtual assistant? Now, I am someone who is a believer that there is a time to hustle and there's also a time to step back and take care of yourself, especially when you're working from home and especially when you're working as a virtual assistant. When you're a virtual assistant, you're often taking care of more outcomes than any other type of career, versus if you were just focused on social media, if you're just focused on this part of your client's business. When you're a virtual assistant, you kind of have to become a Jill or Jack of all trades for your client. So it's really important to put in the time to learn how to take care of yourself. So make sure to watch until the end of this video for all of my best tips that I give to our assistants into XU on how to best take care of yourself. First one is creating your ideal lifestyle. When it comes to working long-term as a virtual assistant, especially when you work from home or you can work anywhere else, starting basically with the ideal lifestyle that you want helps when it comes to creating everything else about yourself and your life and even the clients that you work with. So as a really good example, your ideal lifestyle might be that you start your day a little bit later. For example, if you are a mom and you are making sure that your kids are out by the door by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, you might start your day at 10 or 11. So that might mean that you might not be working with certain clients at certain time zones, so you can have that lifestyle that you want. Or it might be that you like having the early shift, so in the afternoon you're actually free. Depending on what that is, it's important to plot that out so then you have the clarity when it comes to finding clients and as well as working with your current client. So what does that look like for you? Is it that you start working later in the day? Is it that you start early in the day so you have the rest of the day to kind of do whatever it is that you want to do? Or do you even want to work full time in the first place? Or what does that look like for you? Are you okay basically with working on the weekends so you can have most of your mornings or afternoons off during the weekdays? Whatever that looks like, it's important to kind of close your eyes and imagine what's the ideal lifestyle for me. And it might vary and change depending on what part you are in your life. I remember in my early 20s, I was very much just willing to do 80-hour work weeks just because that was the phase of my life. And now that I'm nearing basically my 30s, I'm very much just looking more for just flexible, not really the hustle kind of thing where I'm just chasing after different things in my life. I'm more just being more intentional of how I spend my time. So that's what I mean by creating your ideal lifestyle. Next is, now that you have your ideal lifestyle, go ahead and start creating your habits. So your habits are supposed to help you get to the point where you have your ideal lifestyle. So let's say that your ideal lifestyle is you wake up early in the morning and you get to work right away so you have the afternoon free, right? So that means you have to build up enough of a habit or routine for yourself that you can wake up early in the morning, that you can enjoy your day and not feel like you're just waking up just to go to work. You have a little bit of me time basically to start off your day. So what this could look like is you wake up, depending, let's say your shift starts at 7 a.m. Then you wake up, you are able to, again, take care of you. Whether that's you doing a 30-minute yoga session, that's you journaling, that's you trying to do different things to kind of center yourself to start your day. Those are things that could be the way that you're taking care of yourself. And then in the evening time, creating that routine where you go to sleep early so you can wake up early. So it's having that give and take of you give yourself a lot of energy so you can take some of it for yourself later on. And again, giving that space for yourself as well. Now, I always say you should create 4 different kinds of habits. One is a habit to move, especially when you work from home. It's hard to kind of make sure that you go outside some days even. So even if you just put on your calendar where you're taking a 15-minute walk and then back into your house, that's already good. Just some way of, again, moving yourself, getting outside, getting some fresh air. The second one is a habit to grow. So what are the ways that you're upskilling yourself? What are the ways that you're learning about new things? Maybe you are just getting better at a skill you already have. Whatever that looks like, you have to have a habit that grows you. For me, that's reading books. I have books all the time surrounding me. I have 5 books, I think, that I'm reading at the same time at the moment. And that's okay. That's my habit on growing. And you need to have a habit of rest. What are the things that give you that recharge, basically? For me, it's reading fiction books. So anytime that I feel a little bit like drained, I will actually grab just my Kindle or the physical book that I'm reading at the moment, and I will just read. And the fourth one is a habit to have fun. What is something that is fun for you? For me, it is going to a coffee shop that I've not been to before. For me, fun is going to the arcade and just spending some money and just kind of getting a lot of dopamine hits. Fun could be playing video games, something that, again, recharges you, but at the same time, it's a little bit more active. It's a little bit more movement versus your rest habit. So again, a lot of these habits are giving to yourself, so then it's easier for you to give to your work, to other people, and to the things you're working on. Next is you want to actually schedule your habits. What I mean by this is actually put it on your calendar. Don't let it just be another thing that you've thinking like, oh, I'll just do this whenever I want to. Actually put it on your calendar, or else life will schedule you. As a very funny example, tomorrow I have a 6 a.m. call because I forgot to put on my calendar that I wanted to work out tomorrow morning. So life is scheduling me instead of me scheduling my life. But that's okay. I'll schedule my workout later on. I'll move it around on my calendar so I actually make sure that I have that movement habit. So again, it might look different for you, might look weird for you, but to create the habit of putting the habits that you want in your life to create that ideal lifestyle into your calendar. So then it's going to be easy for you to prioritize or reprioritize depending on what it is that you want to do. Next is make sure that now that's on your calendar, you set boundaries. Is you let your client know like, hey, I'm only working till so and so time. I'm only available at this time. If you do message me, I will get back to you the next day. So it's setting those boundaries. So then for you, it's not really about at this point that your client respects you. It's also that you respect yourself. If you keep allowing yourself to feeling burnt out, to responding to messages at 12 a.m., even though you told your clients you'll get back to them the next day, that is you not taking care of you. So that's what I mean by setting boundaries. And that's not just with your clients, that's with your family, that's with your friends, that's with the people that matter to you. It's also letting them know what is important to you so you have the energy to give back to them. And speaking of, make sure that you schedule interactions. What I mean by this, actually put it in your calendar when you want to meet up with certain friends. On my own calendar, I have a time where I spend time with my best friend. I have time where I spend time with my business partner. I have it scheduled in my life when I want to hang out with the important people in my life. So then I don't have to feel like I'm always chasing them. They know what to expect basically for me to reach out to them. It's kind of a little bit systematized. And again, it makes it that I'm more intentional about my time instead of my time, setting things for me. Next is learn mindfulness. What I mean by this is learn different ways and different techniques of how you can ground yourself and get back to you. So a lot of people would say that they do journaling. A lot of people will say meditation, yoga. Find what works for you. What is something where you can just quiet yourself? We can just find a little peace and do that. Have different habits in your day, in your week, in your month, where you're just checking in with you. You're checking in with your thoughts, your feelings, whatever it is that you're working through, and that you're able to actually reflect and see, hey, where's Leanne at? Where am I at in my life? That way it's going to be easier for you to be able to navigate because you're always, again, checking in with yourself. Next is with everything else that I've said, learn the one push-up rule. What I mean by this is what is the minimum thing that you can do to say that you've moved forward to where you want to be. So as an example, let's say you've put in the goal of doing 10 push-ups a day, right? But then let's say it's like 11:50 p.m. and you're really sleepy and you just want to go to bed, but you're in your head, you're like, oh crap, I still have to do 10 push-ups. But instead of doing 10, just do the one. The point here, and this is coming from the book Atomic Habits, is you don't lose the habit that you're trying to create. What is the minimum thing that you can still maintain the habits that you have so then you are able to get back to it right the next day? It's not like, oh, I didn't do it yesterday, I won't do it again today, it's fine. You have the one push-up rule. What's the minimum thing that you can do to say that you are still continuing your habit? So again, 10 push-ups, maybe just one push-up. 30-minute walk, maybe 5-minute walk. As long as you're doing something to build yourself up, to build the person you want to become, that's already okay. More than okay even. As long as you keep continuing your habit, you don't break it, you don't say like, oh, it's already been 2 days, I haven't actually done it, it's fine. Keep finding ways of what your one push-up rule is. For me, honestly, on days when I can't go to the gym, I know I have to do at least 30-minute walk. If I can't do a 30-minute walk, I do a 10-minute walk. As long as I'm moving myself in some way, I count it, and it's okay. And of course, it goes without saying, hopefully, that you need to have a clear workspace. For me, I always have my desk to be clutter-free as much as possible. I have things in other places because I know the cleaner my workspace is, 1, less distractions, 2, the cleaner I also feel, and then 3, it's also a trigger for me to know if I'm doing well or not. I know if my desk is really cluttered, I've not been able to clean it, I might not be in the best space, I might have been too busy, so it's a good way for me to trigger to go back like, hey, how can I maintain having a cleaner workspace for myself? This isn't just on the physical also, this also goes on your digital, cleaning up your files, making sure things are up to date, not having to keep things that you might reuse in the future but you probably wouldn't. So it's just keeping up basically that maintenance for both your physical and your digital workspace. And lastly, a big way of how to take care of yourself is celebrate your wins. What I mean by this is always keep a list as much as you can of things that you're grateful for, the wins that you've had throughout the day. Even just being able to do your one push-up, that's already a win. Even if it's a way where you were able to express your feelings to someone else in a very healthy way, that's a win. And even if you just got up and you were able to smile and just be grateful for where you're at, that's a win. The importance of this is to keep building that momentum of wins, of celebrating, of things that you're grateful for, as they can keep stacking up the more that you do it as a habit as well. The main thing with any career, whether you're a virtual assistant or you're a freelancer, is that you have a way to make this be a long-term thing for you. And that's definitely what I want for you as well. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below what are the ways that you're taking care of yourself. I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!